Hey guys, welcome back. Cam here with another review. Today we're going to be reviewing Tohyo game One Ballad to You. Now this is a 3-volume complete series released by yenpress, and it's of seinen demographic. Probably my cup of tea, right? Now look, I'm going to come clean and say that the only reason I picked this up was because it was seinen. I didn't really know too much about it. I just saw seinen. I was like, yep, that's probably something that I will enjoy. I really didn't know too much about the manga going in, aside from the fact that it is probably a survival. It was going to be a survival sort of story. So knowing it was going to be a seinen manga, I was expecting something intriguing, with great character building. But unfortunately, this manga was completely the opposite. Let's just go through. I guess I'll tell you a little bit about the premise of the manga, and then I'll give you, I guess, my positives and negatives about it. So the premise of this manga is very simple. The story kicks off with a high school popularity contest. This popularity contest was only for it only affected the one class. It didn't affect the whole school, but the contest really begins as a joke, classic guys trying to pick up the hottest girl and to pick the hottest girl in the class and whatnot. So it started off as a joke, and then they realize that there's obviously much more to it, and people start to randomly die. So the story becomes, or at least is trying to be, a little bit of a psychological thriller, where everyone is always trying to one up one on the others and try to survive as they try to figure out how this contest picks its victims. Now this could really show my age, but the premise of a popularity contest and it being the reason why people were dying, I just really could not care about. The fact that he had no explanation as to why these people were dying. It was just that because of the contest. To me, I don't know, I didn't find that engaging enough. I guess I'm always comparing it to, for example, Death Note, right, where you got the actual Death Note itself. You write in their names and however you want them to die, and they die. But here it's just like, it's a popularity contest. It's just, very, very silly in my opinion. And the manga just falls into the classic trope of, trying to be overly smart and with multiple twists and turns, and eventually just becomes extremely unrealistic. Obviously I say unrealistic in a very science fiction manga. It probably makes no sense to be realistic, but you know what I mean, something that kind of makes sense at least. Unfortunately this one doesn't. There were a few other random nudity shots that I found a bit odd, at the end of the manga. And they just added nothing to the story. It just felt a bit out of place, a bit weird. Probably one of the worst parts, in my opinion, and this might be a little bit of a spoiler. It was a couple of detectives that they kind of come, I think, halfway through volume 2, and it's usually classic detectives that they're basically telling you the story, that they're giving you a bit more background on the story, but they're actually not solving anything. I guess if that makes sense. They're not really helping anyone. They're just like, oh yeah, this guy did this guy did that. So yeah, I just found them really useless. I guess it's a pretty dark video so far, sorry guys, but I guess the only good thing about it was the art. I did like the art. It's pretty cool. I guess it's just sort of it's a classic sort of shonen, shonen or seinen, or I don't know, it's just pretty standard, to be honest. I think it's pretty cool. It probably wasn't bad, but I guess I'm just trying to point out some of the good things about it. I guess art is probably one of them. The deaths were pretty gruesome. Let's just count that as a plus, I guess. But yeah, that's probably about it. Would I recommend this? Probably not, to be honest. But if you do find it cheap, I'll probably say jump on it and read it. It's always good to have your own thoughts on it as well. But yeah, I probably wouldn't recommend it. I'll probably be moving it on as well. So yeah, I guess on that note, thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.